Now we can actually start. Okay, so this is how I start a session. And basically, this is the mix I got. It's by an artist called Bipolar Sunshine. I don't know if anyone know of him. He's kind of known in the indie electronic scene. And this was mixed by a guy called Zach Darza. I think that's how you say his name. Hopefully, I'm not mistaken. So basically, the way I prep a file, I have a Stream Deck. Everybody know what Stream Deck is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, if you don't know it, it's like this device, USB device you connect to your computer, and you can create your own shortcuts basically to a buttons. So basically, I created a lot of shortcuts to Wavelab. So the way I do that, so basically I set markers in Wavelab to kind of define the length of a song. You set up markers, and then it shows you how long the song automatically. It's good for if you prep like vinyls and stuff like that. Then here I do normalize. And what does the normalize do? So basically my gear likes to receive -18 on average. But what you can do here on the normalize in Wavelab, you can basically set that the top of the loudness range of the song will not go past -18, basically. So if my compressor likes to get -18 as a starting point, then I can set it up here. And then let's say I do an album, it will take all the songs and it will do them the same thing, you know? So you in an album, you get like different levels and stuff like that. So basically I have a starting point where I know where every song hits, which is gonna be -18. Anyone got questions about that?
I have
Is
a
it
question.
is it like a limiter?
No, it's more like it's normalized. Do you know the function like normalized that usually, I don't know, some software have, where basically
Yeah,
they just make it like look like a sausage?
yeah.
So this is not the case. I can do that but the options I choose on my normalize basically is to just lower the level so it will hit a certain ceiling. But it's not limiting, it's not clipping, not nothing. Just as you basically just as I will grab this and lower the level, you know, myself. It's basically the same thing.
Okay, but is it the output?
Yeah, this is basically what is gonna go to the analog world from here, which we'll get into a second.
Oad,
Yeah.
which level are you using your DA? Is it a -24, plus 24 or plus 18?
24.
Okay.
My quintessence. Yeah.
Are you hitting the Unfairchild first?
I will go through the full chain in 2 seconds. I'll tell you
Sounds
exactly what's the chain.
I have one quick question.
Yeah.
Is there any tips that you have to find your sweet spot to enter the gear other than using your ears? Like, is there some kind of secret trick to tell?
What do you mean by that?
So for when people use hardware gear, they always say that they have their own sweet spot. And so, like, aside from using your ears to find this sweet spot, like, is there something specific that you're looking for?
Well, it changes. I mean, I tested a lot of like different levels to go out to my gear. I used to work at -14, -20, -21. And I don't know, when I got to -18, it just felt like, okay, I mean, that's what I'm expecting this gear to sound like, you know. Or if I'm looking for the compressor reaction or the threshold reaction or the gain reduction reaction, it seemed, you know, the one that made the most sense to me. I know a lot of people who likes to work at -22, at -24. It really, it's almost a matter of flavor as well, you know, because it really affects the way you're gonna eat the tubes and stuff like that. So you kind of have I mean, yeah, you basically need to listen and find the sweet spot for you, because it's not a golden rule, you know. I chose -18, but you can choose something else for you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
No worries. Okay, so from here, basically, I need to prepare to go to the analog world. So I have one button that I call Get Ready, and I don't know if you can follow what it will do on Wavelab, basically. Okay, so basically it goes crazy now because of Zoom, but hold on, we'll make it work. Hold on. Okay, so basically what it's supposed to do, if you can see it copied the original mix to my reference. So I always have a reference of the original file that I got to compare. And then what it was supposed to do is drag this to the pre-master and then delete this file. And that's it. Basically, I'm ready to go into the analog world. And now, if you don't mind, we'll just test. Just careful with your ear. I don't know how loud you listen to this, because I'm just gonna play some music. Are you getting signal?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So before we dive into the analog stuff, I think we should listen to like 30 seconds of the reference, just to understand what are we gonna work on. So this is the reference.
Yeah, tell me how that you feeling. Have we maxed out, have we hit the ceiling? In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know. Should I stay or should I go? Don't matter what you do, you can't love new if you can't love you.
Okay, so very vintagey, old school, almost Detroit vibe. I don't know, it's like indie, electronic. And what the guy asked me to do basically is gonna keep the almost vintagey vibe, but also do my thing basically. I didn't get like a clear reference. I didn't even get like a reference, like a file after a limiter or anything like that. So he trusted me. I just like, okay, I'll dive in on that. And in my head, I kind of wanted to keep the warmth around it, but still punchy and Detroit vibe. So we can see how we're gonna get to that. And then, feel free to ask me questions while we do that. I'm gonna go gear by gear. I even bypassed all of the gear, and everything is on zero. So we really gonna do it like step by step, so you can listen how the gear sounds and how it affects everything. So yeah, to the question before, the first device in my chain is the Eksa, right, where my hand is. That's basically my clinic cue. I call it clinic cue, but generally my attitude towards mastering, I don't clean that much. I prefer like the boost system, and we will see it while we go forward. But from all my devices, this is probably the cleanest, and I can easily like push 2-3 dB on a frequency that you would think, oh, it's gonna be painful and annoying, but yeah, with the ACQ you can do whatever you want really, and it's still musical and smooth. So I'll start playing, and I'll start by saying the first move I usually do is basically I'll go to the end first, because right now we're playing at -18, and for me to work in -18 doesn't make sense because it's really far from the final product. So level wise, I need to get closer first to the reference and to the final product. I'm not gonna push the gain all the way to what I'm expecting to get at the end, but enough for me to understand what's happening to the balance while I get loud. So the first thing I'm gonna do is actually go to my analog limiter, which is audio LAAL. And the reason I'm going to that, not to use the limiter, it's just to use the gain on the on the box. That's if we talked about the first piece in the chain, then this is the last one. And because the amplifier and the gaining on this is super clean, I trust it as my endpoint to push into my converter, into my Lavry Gold. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play the song. I recommend lowering your headphones a little bit because I'm gonna go as loud as possible now with the song, you know. Okay, did somebody get a super loud?
So you make it loud after the EQ?
No, I didn't touch anything yet. The first thing I did, yeah, I'm sorry for the confusion because of the chat and everything. The first thing I do, it's basically go loud because I went to the analog at -18 and that's too low for me to working. You know, I need to understand what the closest as possible to the final product, basically. So I immediately go, not the loudest I'm gonna go as a final product, but loud enough, let's say, to basically hear what I'm doing, you know, and to see how the balance is gonna react.
Are you slightly clipping the Lavry as well?
No. At this point, I'm not clipping anything.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep like the cleanest signal yet, like still, and then towards the end, I'll figure out if I want to clip it, if I can clip it. Yeah, we'll talk about the clipping a bit later.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, so now I basically, so my gain stage on the LAAL is the input is on -4 because gain staging wise, that's what the LAAL likes. And when we talk about the limiter option on the LAAL later, you'll understand why I'm going in at -4, the way it reacts and everything. But anyway, I now added extra 8 decibels. So we're around -10 average, something like that, which is, I mean, pretty close to a final product, I would say, you know. But yeah, we'll get to that. Okay, so we start with the EQ.
Are you have everything on, going through everything right now?
Yeah, but everything is in bypass.
Oh, okay, bypass, but okay, I see. Only the limiter is on.
Yeah, I don't have a box, you know, that you can bypass things, stuff like that. If I bypass something, it's gonna be on the device itself. So right now, nothing is working basically. Well, now it goes to the limiter transformer because I'm using the gain on that, but that's basically the only thing. And we can also, I mean, it's probably good to hear the difference now already to see where we at. So
Yeah, tell me how.
so it already did a lot, you know, and we didn't do anything. And we're pretty much at the same level with the reference. But you can already hear the openness that we got from this and going through the converters. Okay, so if we start with a bit of tweaking, what I usually like to start with is I like to kind of release pressure from looking for the low end. So I search for it like super low. What I mean by low, I'm like basically almost sweeping between 20 to 40 hertz. And what I'm listening for, I'm listening to the vocals, if they come out and if they come out, if the track opens just by doing that. And so we'll do that and we'll take it from there. So I'll
With
play.
a shelf?
Sorry?
With a shelf?
No, actually not. With a dip on a very specific frequency. So basically on the Exa, I've got, it goes all the way down to 14 hertz. And then it steps off between 2 and 4 hertz of frequency. So I have like crazy amount of choices. But I usually hunt for something between 20 to 38 hertz. That's usually where I find the sweet spot. Depends on the genre and the mix, of course.
And you EQ with the mid side or?
Yes. So yeah, the Exa is actually set to mid side. I work on the Exa 100% mid side. So as you can see, the left side is mid, the right side is sides. So I usually start, well, to be honest, I usually start with like everything, almost everything on, settings already, you know, because I'm running on like tons of masters and I have my sweet spots. But because we're doing it from like, you know, I want to show you how everything sounds, we basically begin from zero. But I never reset things before a song, you know, it's just a waste of time for me. But yeah, it's just basically for you now to hear the steps and what I'm doing. Okay, so I'll start with the low frequency, and I will move it every like 5 seconds. So try and follow. Don't listen to the sub section. Try and listen to the upper range of the mix while I'm doing that. So I'll start with from 20 hertz, and I'll go all the way to 38, and then all the way down. And I'll tell you what I thought, and you can tell me if you heard it or if you hear anything. So what do you think? Did you hear some changes? Anyone want to jump in?
It's hard on the AirPods.
Oh, you're on the AirPods. Yeah. Yeah, on the AirPods it's hard to catch like this kind of movements. That's why I never use them. But yeah. Okay. I mean, so I chose 26 hertz. That sounded the best to me, like where the vocals were sitting nicely. So what I'll do basically, I'll play the track and I'll just bypass and I'll put it in and out and tell me if you hear a different in the mix, okay? So I'll start in bypass. Do you hear like the upper range of the vocals, like how it's suddenly you get the brightness from the vocals?
Yeah, it's clearer.
Yeah, it gets clear. It's like you need to pay attention, but to me it gets like, okay, I know the vocals are more solid to me now. There's not a full blanket that we got out of it, but you know, it's like, I don't know, it sounds a bit clearer to me.
Why did you choose to use a dip instead of a shelf or a low cut?
Because I'm trying like not to lose in like energy, and if I don't want to lose energy, I try to cut the least possible, basically. So that's why a dip with like a more narrow cue. To me, it's just more.
So this is just one frequency in each song that makes the vocal pop out?
Yeah. And when somebody tell me, do you ever, there's a lot of people that master themselves. They use like fab filter or whatever, or I don't know, even just to, I don't know, release something quickly. So I get asked a lot, like what moves on EQ can you recommend, like during mastering? And there's no there's no magic numbers. But I always say like try and look for a frequency between 20 to 40 hertz, and just do a small dip there.
Mid.
Does it do something to the DC offset or something like that?
No, nothing.
Okay.
I rarely do things like that, like DC and stuff like that. It's like.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't clean that, like
No.
even if you see that in the RX isotope.
As you can see, I don't even check on RX.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, I'm like, you send me the file, I can make it work, but the times that I did use like DC and stuff like that but I can get it like really clearly. Usually, if I have DC offset, which is like really severe DC offset,
yeah,
or anything like that, the tubes on the Unfairchild start to click. It's like the weirdest thing. It happened to me the first time I had the Unfairchild. It happened. I was like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "I'm not clipping. I'm not nothing. Where does this clicks coming from?"
Mm.
But because the sub frequencies were had like DC offset and stuff like that, it caused the tubes to click in a weird way. And the second that I cleaned the DC offset on the track, it sounded fine. It was like super weird.
And how do you usually clean that?
Yeah.
Just low cut?
Sorry?
How do you usually clean that? With just a low cut?
Yeah. I use, what do you call it? The TDR, infrasonic.
Yeah.
So this is like the cleanest, the best from like to me, basically.
Okay.
It's amazing.
It's a game changer for real, this plugin.
Yeah, it's a game changer. Yeah. I mean, everything TDR is game changer.
Explain what DC offset is?
Yeah, who wanna jump in on a DC offset?
Should it be like a big resonance in the 0 hertz? Or something like that?
Is it like a super low frequency that's like super loud?
Yeah, that seals you at the room on your masters.
Yeah, we're talking about like around 10 hertz or under even sometimes.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Thanks.
Yeah. So 10 hertz and stuff like that, like making the tubes go crazy. And on the Unfairchild, it's like super clear. You really hear that weird click. So yeah, that's the sign for me that I need to deal with this. But if nothing like that happens, I'm like, you send me like that, it's like I don't know. There was a time that like it felt like mixing engineer gets like a bit lazy, waiting for the master engineer to do everything. So I'm like, you send me the thing like that, and if they come back with the issues, I was like, dude, check your mix. It's like, but it's things that they need to catch before they send it to mastering. But yeah, I mean, it rarely happens that I get like DC offset and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Yeah. From here, the next step is I'm usually trying to do like basically two things in one. I'm trying to push the punch out, but also in the same step, get the vocals even clearer. So I have three favorite frequencies that I use, which is 105, 118, and 134. So that's basically where I feel like the punch that I'm looking for. And I will tweak between these three. So I'm boosting usually around 1 dB at that section. It's a move that I do almost every master. It always works for me. And
what is the range?
Between 105 and 134 hertz, of course. So what I'm listening basically is that the punch to you know, to be firm, and the vocals to sit nice in the mix when I do that. So if we play with that, so I'll jump between three frequencies basically: 105, 118, 134, and you can listen to the difference.
Yeah, tell me how that you feeling. Have we maxed out, have we hit the ceiling? In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know. Should've stay, I should've go. Don't matter what you do, you can't love new if you can't love you.
Okay, so 105 sounded really cool to me. It was warm but still punchy, and the vocal came out. 118 sounded like I put that blanket back on the vocals, and 134 also worked, but I don't know, 105 kind of worked for me. So if I'll choose 105 now and I'll remove it and then back in, so you can listen to the effect that we just added.
No matter what you do, you can't love new if you can't love you.
But again, it's the vocals, you know. Did you hear the difference?
How many dB are you increasing it by?
1
One.
dB.
1 dB. Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, so the vocals really opened up for me when I did that. So yeah, that's another win for the vocals. Yeah, always remember the vocals are king on, I mean, it's always the vocals, you know. So I try to work for the vocals, but you'll see later I also try to put a shine on the instrumental, but in a way that it never like in the way of the vocals. So usually when I work on the mid section, it would be for the vocals, at least on the Eksa. I try to clear up the vocals as much as possible. Yeah. Somebody had a question? No? Okay, cool.
Really quick, is this still on mid side? Are you
Yeah,
doing?
this is mid.
Yeah,
No?
this is only mid. I work only on mid right now.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So
Oh, so mid. So like the side only comes out on the high frequencies.
What do you
The
mean?
side. Mid is for the lows and high, and side is for the highs.
Not necessarily. Now I'm gonna move to an higher frequency on the mid. To me, I see mid side as like on mid, I will dedicate it to the vocals, you know, to clear the vocal as much as possible, and I'll use the sides later to enhance everything around it, or like make it wide or bigger. But I don't think like low, mid, high mid, you know, high frequencies. I think like I try to think like musically, like what I'm looking for in that song and what I'm trying to help with the song. You know, it's like, so in this case, you know, I need the vocals to be clear. So that's what I'm working for right now.
Are you using a shelf for this one? For that particular frequency, the 105?
No, also no. So in the mid section, I only use bells, and on the sides you will see a lot of shelves later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it like a wide Q or a narrow one?
I'm on 0.5. All of them.
Okay, so it's pretty wide.
Yeah.
Okay.
I go wide because to me it's more musical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On everything?
Yes. Yeah. Everything is 0.5 or a shelf, which is gonna be on the sides later. We can talk about it.
Also the deep in the low frequencies.
Yeah. Everything 0.5.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the next step is a bit higher. here I usually play with two frequencies only. This is, to me, this is like where I decide if I want to push the vocals a bit more out, if they are a bit buried in the mix, or if I want them to either come a little bit like back in, or just to sit more naturally with the mix. So my frequencies is 1.74 kilohertz or 1.55 kilohertz. That's it. That's the only frequencies I play on, like on this section. And I play the difference. So I'll start with 1.55, and again, try and pay attention as much as possible to the vocals and how they sit in the mix. So.
What you healing? Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know, let me know. Shoulda stay, shoulda go. Don't matter what you do. You can't love new if you can't love you.
So for me, 1.155 sounds better.
Boost?
Yeah, I always, yeah. On these last two ones, I boost. This is 0.75 dB on 155. And if I'll bypass it, let's do the bypass thing.
Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know, let me know. Shoulda stay, shoulda go. Don't matter what you do. You can't love new if you can't love you.
No, it gives the vocals like a tiny push forward.
Very subtle, but yeah, that makes a difference.
Yeah, exactly. And it kind of puts it more in front of you, more like a record type thing. So now that we finished, yeah, okay, so this is what I'm doing with the mids, basically. That's the only thing I do.
So you said 1.55 and the other one was?
The 174.
And is it because these are the options in your specific EQ, or these are really good frequencies?
That's what I like.
No, because I know that you have specific frequencies.
It's because, with my ears, like using EQs and stuff like that, your ears get drawn to specific frequencies. And the way, I don't know, I listen to music and stuff like that, it's just frequencies that sit nicely on my ears, If somebody else would have done it, I don't know, maybe they chose like different frequencies, or they wanted to use more frequencies. I mean, this EQ have, I don't know, like around 20 different frequencies on every knob,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, this EQ is like super versatile and deep. There's like endless options here. But because I don't like endless, because it gets you confused. It's like,
yes.
Like things like, I don't know, FabFilter Pro Q. For me, it's like, oh man, I have so much choice here. So one thing, I prefer EQs with numbers, that I can just switch like that. And the second is, I just like to find sweet spots on gear, for me. Like frequencies that I like, and I'll stick to that and just jump between them, basically. But again, that's the way I work. Somebody else, would have the Exa and you will enjoy playing the rest of the frequencies.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how my brain works. So,
Yes.
Okay. So now.
How large is your Q?
Sorry?
How large is the Q on the Exa?
I'm using 0.5. It goes all the way to 5 if you need to. Or a shelf, of course, which we'll get later. But
Oh, and on that, what's the cue for the 26 hertz cut as well?
also 0.5.
Oh, so do you like generally work in 0.5 or do you
Yeah.
change the cue at
Yeah,
needed?
I never change the cue. They're all 0.5 or shelf, which
Right.
on the mid section I didn't use the shelf. We're gonna use it on the sides later.
Got you. Thanks.
Yeah.
But isn't 155 too close to like 105?
In what way?
Like this is like basically almost the same frequency, no?
No, he's saying 1.5 kilohertz.
Oh, 1.5 kilohertz?
Yeah. Yeah, we're talking kilohertz now, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. 1.55 kilohertz. Yeah, that's what sorry. Yeah,
Yes.
we're moving to the high mids section, more or less. But that's it. That's all the work I usually do on the mids. Two reasons. Generally on the Exa, you can bypass every frequency section. And if you open more and more, you basically add more harmonics. Even though this EQ is like super clean, I try to, I don't know, to avoid like running through the whole thing. So if I can bypass a section that I don't use, it's off basically. Okay, so now I'll do bypass to what we did on the mid section, and we can compare to where we at right now.
Distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling.
This is without.
Let me know. Should stay, should go. Don't matter what you do. You can't love new if you can't love you.
Yeah, it's very mild so far. I mean, we didn't go far, but it just cleared up the vocals to me, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why we send this to you.
Yeah, for the effort, for time spent on this. Okay.
So for now, no clipping and no limiting at any point.
No, nothing. Yeah. We just added like clean gain, we can call it, and we worked a little bit on the mid section on the Exa. Okay, so let's run through the sides. Even though I do look, lots of you guys, if you saw my videos or like some of my talks some places, you probably know that I do that. I work like crazy on the sides. I do a lot, and it's all boosts, and it's all crazy boosts. But it's just, hold on, I need to let some people in. Okay, so please don't be shocked about the next moves I do on the sides. It's kind of became, I don't know, maybe my signature. I don't know, but to me that's how I make a mix big. You know? Sorry.
Sure.
So yeah, that's how I make a mix big. I do a lot of work on the sides. So I think we're gonna start running on that because otherwise it will take forever. So first move on the sides, I boost 2 decibels shelf up to 110 hertz. Somebody wants to comment on that?
What you doing?
I'm boosting a shelf 2 dB up to 110 hertz. So basically I take all the low information and I boosted 2 decibels on the sides.
Wow.
You're going to cut it, I think.
No, I'm not cutting. No, there's no cuts.
So no.
You said no? Okay, let's see how it sounds. I don't even play with frequencies here. Yeah, it's like I do this move every master. So now it's in bypass. I'll put it in and tell me what you think. Okay, pay attention to the sides, basically.
It's waiting. It's waiting. Yeah, tell me how that you feeling. Have we maxed out? Have we hit the ceiling? In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know, let me know. Should I stay or should I go? Don't matter what you do. You can't love new if you can't love you.
Okay, now somebody wants to tell me that the mix doesn't sound fuller like that.
Oh, way fuller, way
No,
fuller.
I just know when I'm trying this at home, it's going to sound like shit. Yes.
Yeah, same.
And I think you're doing this because you want to make our master sounds bad, so we send it to you.
No, for real though, for real.
No, it sounds good. It sounds amazing.
Yeah. I mean, you can do it. I mean, it also depends. It really depends on your choice of EQ. Okay. Would I do it with the Fab Filter Pro Q? Probably not, because it has like zero vibe, you know. But would I do it with I don't know that Zontech plugin? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. You know, because it's a bit
I have
warmer.
a question.
Yeah.
Would you happen to know what kind of phase filters the Exa has? Like, is it linear, minimum phase? Would you happen to know?
I think it's linear, but I mean it's analog, so it's also different. But if I remember correctly, then Yonte is using like linear, but I guess
I'm on the Zoom meeting thing.
Sorry?
Keeps
Hello?
Well, I think he was accidentally unmuted. But you said it's linear phase, right?
I think so. Yeah, I can
Well,
confirm
it can't be linear. It's not possible in analog domain because it's something different. It's just the phase. The phase is correlated correctly, but it can be linear because it has to receive the sound before treating it. So that's it.
Right. Okay. Thanks.
But like, is like you said that Pro Q doesn't have any vibe to it, but like technically, can you use it to do the same effect?
Well, technically, of course, you can use it whatever you want.
No, yeah, but you said I wouldn't do it with the Pro Q.
It's a matter of taste, you know. It's like if I would do this kind of a move, I mean, it's a we'll call it, I don't know, a bold move in EQ world, you know, to boost 2 dB on up to 100 hertz. You know, it's like usually people try and cut the sides.
Yeah.
So yeah. If I do this kind of a move, I would choose a tool that sounds cool to me, you know, that can bring something cool out of it.
Yeah.
And not just from a technical side point of boosting things.
And does it work in like all the tracks?
I have it on 100% of the tracks I work on, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't you try to listen to the low end in the side before doing this?
No.
Because usually when I try to cut the low end in the side, I can hear there is more focus in the bass, in the kick.
Could be, but I'll tell you what, listening in to a specific thing and not to the whole mix is like one of the most confusing thing one can do. So I always listen in and try things in context, you know. Because everything affects everything at the end. So I'm trying to think like more musically rather than technically. So I'm not going and see what information I have on the sides. Yeah, I can mute, you know, the mids and listen just to the sides and stuff like that. But I don't do it because it's out of context to me. At the end, I deliver like a full package of a thing. So
of course.
So I always work for that full package. So I always.
At the end of the day, is music, so it has to sound like
exactly.
music.
And it's easy to forget that it's, you know, that it's music at the end of the day. Because we always get caught up with numbers and frequencies and, you know, and I don't know, sub frequencies and whatever. But at the end, you just need to listen to the music and how everything works together. Yeah.
Fawad,
Yeah.
I have a question to you.
Yeah.
How do you get your whiteness of a track? Do you get it from the mid-side processing? Do you get it from other? Because I see you don't really use plugins. You're more into analog gear.
Yeah.
How do you get it?
Mid-side. And
Mid-side.
Yeah, you will see when we finish with this section of the sides now,
yeah,
how wide and big the mix got. Because
okay,
I actually use all the section here on the sides. So I do a lot.
So I remember that I sent you one of my tracks, and I felt like the reverb is way wider and louder in a good way. So is it compression or EQ?
EQ. You will see I barely compress, so it's the EQ, and I'll show you the movement I do and the decision I take, and you understand why the reverb sounds so like, kind of fill up the room.
Yeah, let's go.
Are you ever cutting the sides, or are you usually like leaving them more open and boosting it?
It's all boosts. I don't cut anything.
So yeah, like you won't pull up like a TDR filter and using like the elliptical filter to cut out the sides.
No, never. I'm only boosting. If I'll talk about generally about the whole thing, I think I'm only doing two cut movements.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess one other question is, whenever you do use those TDR plugins, are you using it prior to leaving the computer or when you come back in?
So if I need to clean something like the sub frequencies or DC because the way it affects the tubes and stuff like that, then I'll do it, of course, before the analog, so it won't affect the tubes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sometimes I'll use them.
I have a question, Ohad, real quick.
Yeah.
Do you ever deal with mixes that where, if they mono out the low end information, how do you deal with, boosting up the sides there? Because a lot of people, I think, or some people, they mono out to like 150, 200. Do you have a way to deal with that?
I would still do probably the same thing I do. It's like, I don't, if it's not there, it's not there. It was, I don't know, I would say a mixed decision.
Right.
So
Makes
I'm gonna try and fill it up as much as possible, but I can't reinvent information that it's not there. And if something was done in the mix, I would take it that, I don't know, and everybody approved that, it's like, okay, it got to me, so everybody signed off on this, so,
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah, I try not to overthink things like that. It's like, if it got into me, if somebody sent me something to master, it means that everybody approved it. And it can be from the smallest artist, that they signed off on that. And it could be like a label thing, and the managers and the artist, everybody signed on that. So if it got into me, I don't know, I get like mixes from Tizio, for example. I don't send something back, or I don't ask him like, oh, why did you do that? If it got into me, it means that so many people already approved that, so I'm not gonna doubt what I got.
Right, makes sense. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so let's dive into the sides. So the next boost that you wouldn't expect on the sides, it's 310 hertz, like low mid section, and 0.75 decibels.
What?
310 hertz. Yeah.
This is sides now?
Yeah. We're only sides now.
Okay.
You are a pervert.
I know, yeah. I was told before.
310 boost?
So, 310 boost at and 0.75 hertz. It doesn't sound a lot, but it's okay. But
dB, you mean?
Yeah, dB. Yeah, sorry. And the Q is 0.5, so pretty wide, I would say. Okay, so let's hear how that stupid thing sound. So I'll start with bypass and then I'll put it in.
Yeah, tell me how that you feeling. Have we maxed out? Have we hit the ceiling? In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know, let me know. Should stay, should go. Don't matter what you do, you can't love new if you can't love you.
Yeah, for me, it kind of pushes the vibe out, you know, the musicality of the thing. But it's only on the side, so it's not muddying up the center. The center is still, you know, clear. But if you listen
and
to this, yeah,
what's the point?
What's the point? To push out more vibe, basically. You know, I like to call it vibe or musicality. To fill up that synth section or the low frequencies on the vocals, but it's on the sides, so it just feels like kind of gluing the sides with the center for me.
Mm.
Yeah,
it sounds fuller.
Yeah, it just gets like fuller.
But like, how doesn't it, like, all these boosts make it muddy?
First, I have to thank the CQ. You know, the CQ is like super clean. And second, I'm doing it on the sides. The separation is there, you know. You have the center because we worked on that, so the center is standing nice and tall. But I'm just using the sides now to fill it up.
And the pushing in the sides, I think, in this context, helps to. There's some reverb with the kick in the side, and so it makes the thing groove nicely. To push there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean by musicality and vibe. Basically, it kind of picks up things that you usually wouldn't notice on the sides, but it just brings them up and connects them to the midsection. Yeah.
Do you think that someone who works all in the box can do all of this stuff in the Knif SolMU, the plugin alliance plugin?
Probably. I mean, you can always try, you know. I mean, I never dived in on like mastering a plugin, so I mean, there's a lot of master engineers that moved in the box. Okay, maybe they don't work exactly like me, but you can like I don't know, like an analog simulation EQ, like like the Soma or the Sontec, and try and do stuff like that. I mean, both of them I think have mid-side on them.
Yeah, they're both mid-side, I think.
Yeah, so basically just pick a frequency and boost it and see how it reacts, you know, and then try and find frequencies that you like. I mean, usually I listen to frequencies that I like in the mix, and instead of the way my brain thinks is, if I want to make something shine, I'm not gonna clean. I'm gonna find the frequency that I like and I'll boost that instead of clean frequency that I don't like or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah, I prefer putting like spotlights basically on stuff rather than, you know, push things back. That's my.
This one was a shelf or a bell?
We're still in Bell's section.
Okay, so just the first one was a shelf, and then the second one is a.
Yeah, the first one was a shelf, and then the second was a bell. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay, so now I had the question about how the reverb kind of comes out in the sides in a nice way. So the next crazy boost is 3.2 kilohertz on the sides, a bell, usually between 1 and 2 decibels.
Where?
3.2 kilohertz. So usually you would expect this to be like, I wouldn't say painful frequency, but like, I don't know, around that, especially this wide 0.5. But for me, it pulls out the nice reverb on the vocals on the side, and kind of I'm starting basically now to wrap the sides around the vocals. That's basically my goal right now, you know, to make everything wide and big, not to arm the midsection, but kind of bring in like the death and stuff like that, using the reverb in the mix. So if we listen to it, see, I'll put it on 1.5 dB for this song. We'll see how it ends.
Boost one.
Sorry?
Boost 1.5?
Yep. Oh, at 3.2 kilohertz on the side.
Feeling, how we maxed out, how we hit the ceiling. In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know, let me know. Shoulda stay, shoulda go. Don't matter what you do. You can't love new if you can't love you.
What do you think?
Very, very good. Very
No,
good.
you start hearing like the tails of the delay suddenly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the mix was already really good, but like now it feels like glowing up.
Exactly. It creates kind of like almost 3D, you know, you're starting to hear, it's not just like left to right, you're starting to hear like front to back in a way.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting from that. So yeah, that's 1.5 at 3.2. If it gets a bit harsh on me, so I'll either reduce like 0.5 dB or I'll move to the next frequency on the CQ, which is 3.6, which is a bit more mellow. But usually 3.2, it's like
oh, you sometimes like not boosting there?
No, I'm always boosting. Always.
Oh.
It's again one of those things that are like on 100% of my masters.
Okay. So you basically don't work. You just put the music in the same preset and send it back.
Yeah, like I said in the beginning, you know, it's for me, it's really nice to just find a sweet spot on the gear. And then from every point that I like, I'll move like, I don't know, a frequency up or a frequency down type movement. So it's all very minimalistic around what I work on, of course. And depending on the mix, of course, and I don't know how I felt that day. So the next crazy move, which I kind of started. Okay, so there's a story behind this move. We did the Flow album from the UK, the girl band, and one of the mixes were from Serban, and Serban is known for his like top end. And we were kind of worried that our top end wouldn't like match his, and his mix will be the best in the album. And I was like, no, I'm not letting this go. So I figured instead of like trying to play with the 10 kilohertz and stuff like that in the midsection on the vocals, I'll try and do it on the sides so it won't be too much in your face, you know? So I started playing with boosting a lot of high frequencies on the sides and see how it reacts basically on the Eksa. So I came up with, okay, I think I'll start with the other one. So a move that I always do, I think it sits there, I don't even touch it. It's 36 kilohertz, like, you know, frequency that nobody hearing, basically. I'm boosting 2 dB, okay? But because it's on a shelf, so it affects, so because of the curve, it affects, of course, frequencies under 36 kilohertz. And that's basically my, you know, everybody's trying to get that air, you know, in a mix. So that's basically my air, you know, like the Magic, you have the 40, is it 40 kilohertz on the
Oh,
Magic?
yeah, 40. This is what I wanted to
it's
ask.
the 40.
If can you use like the mug?
Exactly. So I have like 36 here. I mean, it can go even double than that, but I work on the 36 on the Eksa, and I use it every time. It just basically that air that everybody's looking for in a mix. So I'll start with that.
This is side?
Sides. We're done with we're just doing sides. So yeah, listen to the really top end.
Yeah, tell me how that you feeling. How we maxed out, how we hit the ceiling. In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know. Should I stay or should I go? Don't matter what you do. You can't love new if you can't love you.
Yeah, it's like super mild, but it's there like on the top of like the vocals.
How much?
This is 2 dB on 36 kilohertz, and a shelf. I mean, again, I don't know fob filter. What going only to like 21, 22? No, what's fob filter thing?
So you can't use mag because it's on stereo.
What do you mean? Mag doesn't have mid side.
Yeah, you can
there's
use
a mag mid-side
the new
version.
Mag. Yeah, there's a new
There's a
one for
new
mastering.
there's a new one that has mid side, so you can.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mag
Here
EQ
you go.
MS.
Yeah, here you go. So try it on the mag.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
I
So
noticed.
resuming. Oh yeah, sorry.
I noticed prior to you going on to the next EQ move, you would always say my crazy EQ move or wild. I can't remember, it was one of the two, but I like that you say that because in my head, like a lot of these moves I probably wouldn't do, but for whatever reason, you doing them, it actually works.
Yeah.
Is maybe some of the reason because of that, like the mixes you already get are already sounding so good. So it's like you're kind of able to make these moves.
Okay, good
versus
point.
like someone like me, I get a lot of pretty poor mixes. So like I feel like a lot of the times I'd probably be cutting 300 in the sides or even like filtering out some of the sides, you know what I mean? So,
So
I don't know
that's
if that has something to do with it.
Yeah, that's a very good point, but this is really not the case here.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you
I
get
think you have more to play with because you have such a good mix. You have a little more creativity you can do.
I wish. I honestly wish that most of the mixes I would get. I mean,
I know some of the
yeah,
you.
he can speak for
Yes.
himself. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't say that most mixes I get are not good, but it's more than you would think. I do get a lot of like good mixes, but I also get a fair share of mixes that I would probably send them back to the mixer, but I know it's like
And you don't cut?
No, and I don't cut. I do the same moves on whatever material I get.
I have a question just to clarify. So whether you get like an amazing mix and an average mix, none of the foundations on your EQs at this point changes?
No, I do the same moves that I do here.
It's like shit in, shit out.
It's like yeah. That's a good description. Yeah.
No, but this is shit like covered with gold.
Not that's what is that's a nice saying, because I trust my gear to do the job so much. It took me years to get to this point of gear and things to work together and stuff like that. Like years, I tried every piece of gear. I moved them, like everything moved places and everything. I mean, people who know me know that I'm a gear freak. I'm insane. If I got a device and I can sell it after 2 weeks, because it just doesn't work for me.
You're a pervert.
Yeah, I'm a gear pervert. To the level of like, XLR cables, power cables, everything here is like, you know, even if you think you don't hear it, I invested in that shit. You know, just to make sure that this is like the cleanest and like the smoothest chain I can build, basically. So I
basically starts with the gear.
For me, yeah, I mean, it's always your ears at the end, you know. I mean, you can sit here and use the gear, but it doesn't mean that you're gonna do, I don't know, the same thing I do. So it's the way we perceive music. We all different. But I trust my gear so much that I know that even on a average or a bad mix, it will still come out really good, you know, like. And on the shittier mixes, the client appreciated more because, of course, the difference is bigger, you know.
Yeah, it's like a miracle for him.
Exactly. I just saved his mix basically, even though he won't admit that the mix is bad. You know, nobody ever admits that the mix is bad, but nobody tell you, oh, I mixed it so bad, please save it. You know, nobody would tell you that. But it just gives me the more like to be. I actually like the bad mixes because they let me be more creative in a way. You know, I can basically do whatever I want. Where on like big mixes, you're kind of limited because every small change you're gonna do, they're gonna hear it. I mean, depends on the mixer. Some mixers give me like free hand. Like, I mean, that's if we're talking about mixers for a second. That's why I'm enjoying like working with people like I don't know if Thomas is here still. He probably ran away, but I like to work with guys like Tizio or Thomas Warren and stuff and people like that because when they send me something, it's basically like here's the keys, you know, I did my thing, now you do you. And they don't put me like in a box, you know, don't touch this or don't touch that, because they know we think the same way, you know, we both have the same goal at the end to make it sound as good as possible. So they let me do whatever I want, as long as it sounds good, of course. So I mean, of course, I prefer working with mixers like that. And I mean, most people who send me stuff to master are people like that you know, trust me. But sometimes I have the occasional dude that, you know, you can't do anything basically. I can run it from one side to the other without, you know, everything is in bypass. I just can't do shit because, you know, they're like, oh, I like that thing in the mix, you know. It's like, but yeah, it's part of the business, and yeah, we're all.
Yeah, sometimes people just don't understand as much as you know.
I mean, I don't know. I don't like to say that because again, everybody listens to music in their own way, and everybody is looking for different things in a master or in a mix. And I don't know, some people are more in love with their work and they don't want you to touch it, and you know, it could be an ego thing, whatever. But that's the person, you know. You can't, you know, you can't. I don't know. I don't like to put knowledge into that stage anyway, because at that point you need to listen to the music, and then we, you know, every person.
Yeah, but actually, like a lot of time I see that about.
I think you cut out. Okay. So I guess we'll move forward. Okay, so yeah, following the crazy moves. So yeah, going back to that story about that Flow album with the Serban mix, I had to figure out a way to push like high frequencies that won't kill your ears, but still sounds like super shiny, and you know, that kind of that pop, tingly high frequencies in your ears. So I came up with a shelf on the sides, all the way down to 4.8 kilohertz, and usually anything between 0.5 dB to 2 dBs. Depends on how much high frequencies are in the mix and what's painful and what's not. basically. I mean, it's a very aggressive move, I'll call it. Maybe the only move that I do that I'll call aggressive. You'll hear it. It's like I wouldn't say it's changing the mix, because when I work, I try not to change the mix, not like the balance and stuff like that. But I think it has like a lot of effect on like the eye frequencies and stuff like that, if you wanna like shine a light on that, basically. So yeah, I'll play it right now. I'll put it on 1 dB, not to go too harsh, and see how it.
What was it again? Sorry.
Sorry, what?
What were the frequencies again?
It's It's a shelf all the way down to 4.8 kilohertz.
A shelf like inside?
Yes. A
But
boost.
didn't all the way to 4,000?
Yeah, 4.8.
A high shelf.
Yes. Okay, let's listen and then comment. All right. So it's in bypass first, and then I'll put it in.
Yeah, tell me how that you feeling. How we maxed out, how we hit the ceiling. In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know. Should stay, should go. Don't matter what you do, you can't love new if you can't love you.
So what do you think?
It's amazing, but there's no way I'm doing this and it doesn't sound like shit.
This is
like
smooth.
it like rounds everything up, like balance everything nicely from the whole spectrum.
Yeah, so it's not harsh, and that's what's nice about this EQ is like the most precise EQ, but it's also super smooth.
And how much is the boost?
Right now it's 1 dB. I can go higher, but for this type of style of like music and the mix, I mean, you know what? I'll put it louder just so you can hear the effect while I'm playing.
Tell me how that you feeling. How we maxed out, how we hit the ceiling. In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know. Should stay, should go. Don't matter what you do, you can't love new if you can't love you.
Yeah.
So today when you sent me back to the master and you said that I already boost the highs, this is what you meant? This is the highs?
Yeah, exactly.
So highs is 4,000 and up? This is the highs?
Well, that's what I usually do, like on the shelf, on the sides.
Okay. One of the things is the Eksa. For example, if you go to 0.5, which is less wide than a shelf, a boost goes from 10 Hertz to 1K. So as 48K is the octave, double frequency of 24K. So, well, the thing is, when you boost 48, stuff happened a lot lower than that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So lower like under 20K.
Yeah.
So it's just very small boost with a very gentle slope. That's where it's brilliant.
Yeah, exactly. The Exa, it's to me it's like it's the best EQ out there. Like in analog world.
I've posted in the chat the Exa diagrams of the slopes for people to visualize how wide it is.
Yeah. No, this EQ is crazy, but yeah, I mean, it sounds on paper it sounds like a crazy move, but I mean you hear it for yourself, you know, it's like it works.
Even if you exaggerate, it doesn't even like sound shit. It's
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It
no.
just less suitable for this mix specifically. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So you would say,
yeah.
I'm sorry. You would say that you use the mid side for a little bit of punch and clarity, and then, I mean, the mids and then the sides to kind of wrap around those mids.
Exactly that. Yeah.
Um,
And yeah, and you asked before if how I make things wide. So I mean, clearly this makes things wide because you know I boost so much.
you mean the 4K boost?
Also the 4K. I mean, generally what I did on the side section makes it wide. You know, it's like I mean, I just boosted. I don't know. On average, I don't know, almost 2 dB on the sides. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. I don't know if I remember correctly. You showed me once that you use the De-esser also.
I used to have a de-esser on the desk, but I no longer have it. So if I ever pull a de-esser, it will be a plugin at the end, if I need to. I can show you later which one I use. It's a secret.
Okay.
So don't tell. But
Yeah.
I'll show you at the end. If I open plugins, which ones I would use generally.
Okay, so how do you like come down high harsh frequencies?
Well, at this point I don't need to because everything is like kind of like smooth here, and we didn't reach the tubes yet, which would be the next step. So let's just say you're jumping forward.
Okay.
Yeah, we get there, don't worry. Okay, so let's just do a quick like on and off, full on what we did till now, and then we can move on to a bit of compression. So I'll start with the bypass.
Tell me how that you feeling. Have we maxed out? Have we hit the ceiling? In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know, let me know.
Yeah, I think it's a clear change. But I mean, it didn't change the balance of the mix, which is always my goal, you know. It's like it just sounds like fuller, basically. Okay, I think we can move on to a bit of compression. So the next piece of gear in the chain is the Unfairchild. So I have two devices basically, which is related to the Unfairchild itself, and then it has a add-on piece which called Unfa 1, which is basically an add-on they brought in later, which adds a lot of possibilities to the Unfairchild. For example, you have feed forward that you can kind of grab it in between. You have an higher sidechain. The sidechain now goes all the way up to 400 hertz. Then you have a dry wet, a parallel, and you have an output gain, which is super important because if you look on the real Fairchild or the Unfairchild, it doesn't have an output control. So basically, if you want to push the input gain into the tubes for saturation, you will have to recover gain or like add gain like later in a different device. So basically they brought this in and you have control on input and output simultaneously, which is amazing, of course. But the way I work with the Unfairchild is like I would say on a simple level, I would call it. I basically I'm always on 400 hertz sidechain, which means I don't compress the low frequencies. I let them pass. and my output is always the same because I stopped pushing the tubes. I just found the sweet spot of the tubes on the Unfairchild, which I don't know. It's 10 o'clock. I don't know if it means anything to anyone, but it's 10 o'clock for me. And so basically, the only things I change on the Unfairchild is the time constant. And basically, if you know the Fairchild, it has it doesn't have like a take and release. It has like settings that they change the take and release time. But the guys from Undertone who made the Unfairchild added a thing called variables. Like it's super deep, but if we go like super short on this, there's 4 variables, and every variable basically changes the timing of the take and release, and also opens the option for me to adjust the take and release according to the different time constant of the different variables. Yeah, that was long and deep, but this box is like super deep. You can do whatever on it. I mean, before that I had the Vacovox, and everybody were super surprised that I sold the Vacovox because it's an amazing compressor and it sounds amazing. But not to diss anyone, I would just say I had too many issues with the Vacovox, so I sold it. And I'm not regretting like 1 second because the Unfairchild sounds amazing and it gives me way more flexibility. So yeah, that's on the 2 basically. Recently I started doing a lot of mid-side compression on the Unfairchild because it sounds really good. And so basically the way I'll work is I'll first decide if I want to do mid-side or not. Basically just put it in and out because it's changing the sound according to the mix. So I'll just decide if I like it or not. Then I'll choose the variable because they give me different vibes. For example, variable 4, I count it as kind of like my pop music variable because it's like super clean and straight. 3 is more groovy, so I use it a lot on electronic music. And 2 sounds a bit like vintagey, warmer to me. And 1, I don't know, it's like I don't have a description for it because I rarely use it, but sometimes it works. So yeah, I choose mid-side or not, then the variable, and then I play with the take and release. Again, not a lot of movement though. What I'll do, I'll just play the music and I'll play with the compressor, and then you can ask me questions about, because I set up compression in a very fast way. And so you can ask me a question after I'm setting this one up. Yeah, let's go.
Tell me how that you feeling. Have we maxed out? Have we hit the ceiling? In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know, let me know. Should stay, I should go. Don't matter what you do, you can't love new if you can't love you.
And that's it. Yeah.
One thing about the Fairchild, first of all, I know it's like it also has saturation, right?
No, the saturation comes from you pushing into the tubes.
No, because like I've seen like mixing engineer like on Mix with the Master that they use the Fairchild. It doesn't even like move, so it's just for color.
I mean, the box
It
itself
doesn't even compress.
Yeah. I mean, I'm moving now like I don't know 0.5 dB gain reduction. You don't need to compress a lot on the Fairchild to get a movement or color. But what you can do is just push the input on it, you know, just lower the threshold to 0, just push the input, and then it becomes like a color box, like a saturation.
So you use it for color?
No, I don't. Again, because you know you reach the point of mastering. I mean, I used to play with saturation and stuff like that, but I don't know. 50% of the time I used to get like feedback, you know, and that something changed, something is pushed too much and stuff like that. So I kind of stopped adding saturation and drive and harmonics and stuff like that. Like, you know.
So how much dB reduction is it now?
0.5. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you can see on the camera like the movement, but it's, I mean, it's tiny. Look.
Hit the ceiling in the distance. You are healing. Can't get to the fruit.
It's like super tiny moves, you know. It's like, and don't forget, I'm also not compressing the low end, so it doesn't. I'm only compressing from 400 hertz and up, basically, just to glue that section in.
It's in the settings?
Yeah, but not, again, on the normal Fairchild or Unfairchild, you won't get it. You need the extra box for it, because they added like a sidechain all the way to 400 hertz.
So like on the Fairchild plugin, you don't have it?
I don't know. I think depends on which company, and then maybe you have like a tab on the bottom. I don't know. Maybe somebody can comment.
Yeah, Carl just said it's on the plugin.
Right? It's like on the bottom or something. But you also have an Unfairchild plugin now, which I heard sounds really good. So.
Yeah. So it's not like the Fairchild?
No, it's based on the Fairchild, but the plugin Unfairchild is it's basically based on this. It's the same company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so look up Undertone Unfairchild. I heard the plugin. I mean, nobody said it sounds like the hardware, but people said it sounds really good for a plugin. You know.
So when you say that you sidechain up to from 400 hertz,
okay, so it's
you're still.
It's not a sidechain you would think that, you know, the kick affects the bass and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, we can call it, I don't know, filter even. It's basically you choose from which frequency you want to compress.
Okay, so it's like multi-band compression.
Also not, no, also not really. You just filter like the bottom basically, so it won't go to the compression section of the compressor.
Okay, so it's still a sidechain. Like you are still compressing flat, like from 0 to 20K.
No, I'm compressing from 400 to 20K.
Oh, okay. So it's different from sidechain.
Yeah, but you don't choose
like. Kind of.
Yeah, you set like a boundary basically. I'd call it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, in this context, sidechain just mean it ignores those frequencies. So it's ignoring the frequencies below what he said.
Word. Yeah, that's a good word. Ignoring. Yeah.
Yeah, but the compression still affects all the frequencies, like in flat. It just ignores the frequencies from 0 to 400 in the input, but then the compression is applied to the whole thing, or not?
No, it doesn't. The compression applies only to the 400 and up.
Oh, okay.
If I would
so it's like smoothen it?
It's more like a glue thing, you know, to glue the vocals, for example, to the rest of the mix and stuff like that. That's why it's only like 0.5 plus the work of the tubes, of course. You know, this thing has like 14 tubes, so you can imagine. It's like, I mean, it's like an oven. This thing.
Oh, okay, so I know that like if you use saturation on a master, it can hurt your lows and your kick. So if you do this with the Fairchild on all the frequencies from 0 to 20K, so does it hurt your low frequencies?
if I'll push to the tubes, you mean, to get saturation?
Yeah, on the Fairchild.
I mean, it might. I don't know if you. I mean, something that you need to try. You know, it's like. I mean, I can try. I can push it. Let's play with it just for a second.
Yeah, tell me how that you feeling. How we maxed out, how we.
I mean, it still sounds good, you know.
Like it, and now you compressed all the frequencies?
No, it's still all the way to 4. Do you want to hear like all frequencies?
No, I'm just asking if I do this on the Fairchild, who doesn't have
The side
like
tube.
the option to
Yeah.
do it like from 400 and up.
Yeah.
So can it hurt my lows and my kick, like the punch of the kick and stuff like this?
Not always. It really depends on the mix and how you treated your kick and bass. You know. I
So
mean,
just to listen.
yeah. I mean, everything you ask me, I would say listen. You know, it's like first
Yeah.
rule of music. Listen. You know, saturation can fill it up, and it can like hurt your transients. It can do both. So I don't know. Maybe like a point in between. You don't have to go like either 0 or maximum. You know, there's a lot of steps in between these.
Yeah.
But always listen. I mean, I really like saturation. I wish I could have used it more in mastering, but you know, sometimes I get like such full mixes that, I mean, there's no point.
Yeah.
You just get just too much. So
Yeah. But sometimes you make them dirtier.
nowadays, rarely, like really rare. I barely move the input on the Unfairchild. But also because I like to work fast, and when you start diving into saturation and adding harmonics,
It becomes more artistic.
Not just that, you also have to be more like
precise.
Like listen deeper, you know, like what did I just add right now? You know, is it good? Is it too much? Do you hear it? You don't hear it? It's like, yeah, it's kind of draining.
Like mixing.
Yeah, it almost goes to the point where like, am I mixing now? You know?
Yeah.
And I don't like to go to a place where you know, that's why I also don't do stems, because stems are for mixers, not for me.
Yeah. Ask Tsuki.
Yeah. Okay, so we're done with that. From the Unfairchild, I'm going to the Terry EQ, which is my tone shaping EQ. What does it mean, tone shaping? That's where I choose like frequencies that I want to hear more, and I push them a lot. By a lot, I mean anything between 1 dB to, I don't know, 3, I guess. More. I mean, this thing doesn't have numbers, so you know it doesn't matter. But yeah, you know what I mean. So I have a setting on the Terry. Okay, so I mean, there's a lot to say about the Terry, but I'll go quick because I mean we can talk hours about this thing. It's not colorful, but it has this kind of like a vibe. You know, I don't know. It's like it's like running through an old console to me in a way. It kind of brings like this death and I don't know. It's how to describe this thing, but to me that's the only cue. Okay, and the Eksa is this thing, but the Terry is maybe the only cue that I couldn't replicate any like even close to it in the box, like with plugins. So yeah, that's pretty much a lot to say about this thing. So there's one thing that I like to keep on all the time. It's because you can choose transformers on this thing, which is cool because every transformer does something else. So there's one transformer that I really like on all the time, which is the output transformer, because I don't know, it makes things like super vibey. So yeah, I'll put the Terry in, we listen to it, and then I'll add the transformer, and you can hear what it does.
It's waiting.
it's like instant glue to me.
What was this?
That's the Terry EQ. I put it in and out basically. Without settings. Right now there's no settings like set.
So this is not mid-side.
No, this is two monos, like left and right. So because I kind of wanna run forward on this, I'll tell you what the frequencies I usually do, and then you can ask me questions about it. Because there's frequency that I go to, but this thing doesn't have numbers. So it's basically I'm aiming for specific points that I already know on the EQ. And yeah, these are my favorite spots basically. I can tell you around what frequency it is, you know, because I know it, but it's not a specific frequency, and that's what's special about this thing. So usually the low end, I don't do anything on the low end on this. Sometimes I'll do the low end is shelves. It's like built like a pool tech basically. So if there's too much bass on the mix, for example, I'll cut like, I don't know, FADB on the shelf. And then I have the mid section. I usually use it to clear the low mids. So I usually target around 600 hertz or 400 hertz. We can listen to it. And then I have the high mid section, where I usually boost around 2 to 3 dB around. Okay, so here I do a trick. I don't know if anyone watched my videos. I showed it on the video, but it's hard to grasp. So basically what I do, I choose a different frequency to the left side and to the right side. So on the left side, I'll boost 800 hertz, and on the right side, I'll boost 600 hertz. And that basically creates this cool enlargement to the stereo field, you know, because the way this EQ is set up, the frequencies that the guy who built it chose, they all like goes in steps that make sense, like neighboring frequencies. So he even recommends like doing that if you want like a bigger stereo. So, and then I have the high frequency. I usually boost 6K on the right side and 10K on the left side. And the EQ curve is also a bit different between the left and the right. So I think I'll start by doing the high mid, different frequencies. I'll boost it, and then you can hear the difference. And then I'll do the same on the high frequencies, and then we'll finish it off with a cleanup on the low mids.
Wait, so you also so here you also clean frequencies?
Yeah, that's the second place that I clean something in the low mids, but that's it basically. Yeah. Yeah. So basically two clean movements. Yeah. Sorry?
400 to 600?
I choose between 400 and 600. It depends on the mix. I can play both. You know what? Let's start with a cleanup because it's quicker. Okay, so I'll start with 400. I'll move to 600, and then we do 400, 600, and you can hear the difference.
I've been maxed out, how we hit the ceiling. In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know. Should've stayed, I should've go. Don't matter what you do, you can't love new if you can't love you.
Yeah, I mean 600 sounds better to me here. But did you hear the difference on this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of clearing the all vocal section. So I'm always, when I'm cleaning like low like low side, like low mid and or sub, I listen to the upper range of the mix and to me what it's doing.
And this is cleaning mid.
This is low mid. This is 600 hertz. 1 dB at 600 hertz.
No, but mid or side.
We finish with sides. It's only full mix now.
1 dB boost or cut?
No, cut.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gain-wise, are you currently clipping the Lavry at the level you are, or
No.
not yet?
No, not yet.
Sure?
Yeah.
How that you feeling? Have we maxed out? Have we hit the ceiling?
Yeah, not hitting the ceiling yet. Yeah. Yeah, that's what's cool about it. I'm adding like RMS, but it's still not pushing it into the Lavry. Also looking at the LAAL, I know that I'm only at like +8, and I'm only getting clipping when I'm like reaching like +10, +12 steps on the limiter. So yeah, I'm not clipping yet. Okay, so that was the cleanup, and now even though now when I do the boost, I might clip it, but we'll see. So now I'll boost the left and right, 800 and 600 hertz. Okay, so I'll start in bypass and then I'll add this in.
Have we hit the ceiling? In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know, let me know. Should've stayed, should've go. Don't matter what you do. You can't love new if you can't love you.
And now it's clipping, by the way. Yeah, because it's a big
On the master.
Well, now I'm clipping the Lavry. Yeah, because I added so much gain around the gear, so now the Lavry is starting to clip. Clearly, because we added a lot of gain. But this was a boost of 600 and 800 on the sides. At 3 dB, I'll probably do less because it felt a bit like it's starting to get too muddy, so I'll probably go down to around 1 dB with this move to fill the 600 and 800, and then I'll try the I section, which is 6K and 10K. So 10K on the left side, 6K on the right side.
In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know, let me know. Should've stayed, should've go. Don't matter what you do. You can't love new if you can't love you.
Yeah, as you can hear, the Terry is also, it's super smooth. I boosted like 2 dB on 10K and 6K, and it sounds pretty nice.
You said that you put it on, like, you boost on one side 600, one side 800, but you said you've done with the mid side.
Yeah, it's left and right. So basically, I'm
okay.
boosting different frequencies on left and right, not on mid and side.
Oh, okay.
I know it's a bit confusing, but it works.
But the cut was in the middle.
It's all on the full mix. Yeah, the cut is like 600 hertz on both.
Okay.
But the boost was different frequencies.
So it's a special EQ.
You can try it with another EQ, but on the Terrier itself is a very special EQ tone wise, and the way it's built and and everything it contains inside of it, it's it was chosen carefully by the guy who built it. So yeah, it has some tricks up his sleeve, as you would say.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing on the Terry is the transformers. So the input transformer is kind of, I don't know, based on a old Abbey Road console, which is super cool. I started using it. At first, I didn't like it. And then, I don't know, I took the time to calibrate the Terry inside. I opened it up and calibrated the power supply and everything. And then I started to love it. So right now it's almost on everything. So I'll put it in and you can hear what it does. So basically that's just the change of the transformer on the Terry.
Tell me how that you feeling. Have we maxed out? Have we hit the ceiling? In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling.
It kind of adds that finished record sound, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, it kind of puts it all
It
together.
sounds also a bit crispier now. No,
Yeah, exactly.
Years.
Yeah, but that's also because we're clipping now the Lavry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a combo of things now.
Yeah, and to anyone that wants to get a Terry, I'd try to get one sooner than later because I think he's going to stop making them in the next year.
Oh, really? You think?
Yeah, I mean, I live in Austin where he lives, and I have some friends that are pretty close with him, and yeah, I think he's kind of done making them. So,
oh wow,
it's okay. I'm poor anyway.
Well, you can always also get the smaller PC brought in, the SEQ. That looks cool.
Yeah, that one's more affordable. I mean, it's it's frequency selective, so it's just what you see is what you get, but
yeah.
It does sound very nice.
Yeah. I mean, everything he does. I mean, this Marshall is amazing.
Yeah, he's awesome. Really nice guy. He
Yeah.
he let me go over to his place. It's cool. He's just doing it like out
No,
of the
yeah,
house.
yeah. I'm always telling myself I'm mixing in the box because it's better, but it's just because I don't have money for anything else.
I mean, yeah. I mean, nowadays, I mean, a lot of people ask me like, what do I need to do to like go analog or not, or I don't know. I mean, I think you need to prepare to invest a lot of money nowadays. I mean, especially, I mean, in nowadays market, everything has gotten so expensive, which is crazy. I mean, just my speakers, my Dutch and Dutch. I mean, I bought them for I think 8-9K, and now they go for like 15 in like 3 years.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
It's wild.
Yeah, and I see it with a lot of gear as well. I mean, yeah. So yes, try and stay in the box.
How do you compare the mix without like letting volume make it sound better?
Good. I think it might be a good point to start comparing because we didn't listen to the reference for a while now. So let's try and do that, and I'll show you how I do that. So basically, so I'll jump between the mastered version, we call it, and the reference, and then we'll level match it.
That's why you have to find the love inside you. It's waiting, it's waiting. You got to find the love inside you. It's waiting, it's waiting. Yeah, tell me how that you feeling. Have we maxed out? Have we hit the ceiling? In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know. Should I stay or should I go? Don't matter what you do. You can't love new if you can't love you.
Yeah, I mean the difference is there, I guess. So the way I do it, I basically, if I didn't get, usually I get, if I'll show you this, for example, I get, no, I don't have it here. Never mind. Usually I get a limited version. Depends who mixed it and stuff like that. Usually I get, everybody listening to a limited version, to hear it loud. So I usually get that as a reference. In this case, I didn't, so I need to manually match the original mix. So I just use a game, basically. Yeah.
On your reference pre-master track, is that where you insert the like external effect plugin and then you just route it to the print track?
You mean how do I go to analog? You mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, I see like your pre-master is a reference track, right? And then I'm assuming you have like an external.
So the pre-master is the one that goes into the analog.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Here I choose quintessence, so it means it goes to the Lavry.
Okay.
And the reference doesn't go anywhere, basically. So
Okay.
where's this? You just listen to.
Oh, and then you received it from there on
Yeah,
Savitr.
and you can see that the print gets basically everything that returns from the analog. So you can see it immediately turn into mute, and then basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, I think we're gonna run through this one because this is pretty quick. So now I'm adding another compressor, which is the Knif SolMU, which is also a super clean compressor. It used to be the compressor, the gain I used to use to push into the Lavry because the amplifier on this is super clean. But now because I added the LAAL, then I don't use it to push the gain. The way I use it is pretty simple. I just basically try and grab a bit of the transients in a musical way. It's super musical. I can compress 5 dB on this and you won't hear it, but I never do that. But I work super fast on this. The ratio is always 1.2. It's rarely that I go to 1.4. So basically, I just move the threshold to grab a bit of the transient and to play with the release according to the groove I'm trying to create in the master, basically. There's a lot of features on this compressor which I don't really use. For example, there's a sidechain eye boost, which means it kind of turns into sort of de-esser type thing. Basically, it takes 4K and push them up, so it will compress more. And the IPS, I always leave it on 150. And yeah, there's crazy stuff on this thing. It can be almost multi-band. I can just compress. I can choose specific frequency to compress, but it has parallel. This thing is crazy. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like not using it enough in the way, but it's not a cheap thing, but I don't know. I just like the sound of the compressor, and I like the.
So it does have color?
No, it's super clean, super clean. But I don't know. It just adds like extra depth. I don't know how to call it even. It sounds good. It's like it's one of those boxes that it's enough to go through, and it gives me that record sound. So I'm keeping it.
How would you
And
compare this one to the Vertigo one?
sorry?
How would you compare this one to the Vertigo one? The
So
BSC3.
I never had the Vertigo stuff. I don't know.
Okay.
They look cool.
Yeah, it seems to be very neutral to the sound, like very transparent.
The
You
Vertigo.
can compress like 8 dB and cannot hear it.
Yeah, I can tell you one thing about the Knif stuff. Yonte is like, to me, is like the genius of the scene, of gear scene. And I would buy I have bought every piece of gear he ever put out. I had the Soma, I even had the saturation device he recently put out, which sounds amazing, but it didn't work for what I was looking for. So yeah, I think his gear is like up there, like the top.
Yeah.
So I never had, I don't know, the urgency to try something else, basically, against this. When I brought the LAAL limiter, I thought it would that I would sell the Knif SolMU, but I didn't, because, I don't know, they still work very nice together. So I guess it just, staying here. I mean, it's still on every master,
Yeah.
and it has a cool thing, which called link, which you can kind of separate left and right compression, but you have degrees to it. So you can either fully separate them, compress left and right differently, or something in between. And sometimes to go to step 4 or something like that creates like a super nice wide master. We can play with it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it just creates like the separation is too much, which you know it when you suddenly the side sounds non-related to the mids, like the mids are there, and then it's you created like a massive separation between the two.
Yeah.
So sometimes it creates that, but if it's working, then you get like a super wide thing. So yeah, I'll show you quickly how I work with this compressor. It's super fast.
Yeah, tell me how that you feeling. Have we maxed out? Have we hit the ceiling? In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know, let me know. Should stay, I should go. Don't matter what you do, you can't love new if you can't love you.
Yeah, it's so if I'll compare now bypass and not bypass, and you can tell me if you hear the difference in sound.
Yeah, tell me how that you feeling. Have we maxed out? Have we hit the ceiling? In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know, let me know. Should stay, I should go. Don't matter what you do, you can't love new if you can't love you.
Yeah, what do you think?
It added more punch some way, no? Like
Yeah,
more body.
exactly. It kind of revived that punch back in a way.
Is this a full band compression, or are you sidechaining this as well?
Yeah, sidechaining to 150. So again, no compression on the low end.
Perfect. And what is your opinion on the SSL bus compressor compared to the SolMU?
I mean, I don't have enough experience with it in mastering context. I would say that.
Right.
Okay. But like the SSL compressor, it doesn't have all this multiband shit.
Yeah, but I don't use it. I have it, but I don't use it. I use it like full spectrum anyway, almost.
Oh, so you compress the whole thing anyway.
Yeah. It's like
And
I use it as a normal stereo mixer.
And how much?
How much? I don't know, 0.5.
And like there is like definitions for attack and release and stuff like this.
Yeah, you have everything, of course. Even ratio. You have everything.
No, but like for you, how you use it?
The main thing I would change here is the release, just to catch a groove, and the link thing to check like wideness, but that's it basically. I use it very basic compared to what it can do. It can do so much, but I like the basic aspect of this compressor.
Yeah.
I'm a simple guy, I don't like too complex things.
Yeah. So you don't compress a lot here?
Yeah, 0.5 on this, 0.5 on the Fairchild, and yeah. And now we get to the limiter, and then I can decide okay, so I think we can move to the limiter basically. So I got this recently, like 2 months ago or so. And the first one I got had issues. So that's already kind of made my brain like not fully liking this. And also, I'm not a limiter guy. I really hated
Yeah, this is what I wanted to ask you because you're the one. This is the whole thing about you that you don't use limiter, you use clippers,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah. So now I can narrow it down to me not liking in the box limiters. So basically, to me, when I opened the limiter in the box, I instantly felt like I'm losing information. Somehow the bass always sounded different to me. I felt like I lost like the wideness I got from my gear. So I never used limiters in the box, and I just moved on to clipping the Lavry, and then if I needed extra gain, then I'll just add like like gain, basically a drive in the box. I can show you later how I do that. But then this thing came out, but I was against it the whole time because it's called a limiter. But everybody kept on raving it, and I was like looking for another like finishing box, like something to kind of make me not buy any more gear type thing. So I got it, and then the first one was faulty. It was always doing too much. I don't know. So I was like, okay, I don't understand why people liking this thing, blah, blah, blah. I contacted the company. I told him, listen, I don't know. Everybody's raving this. I think mine is doing too much. I think something's wrong with it. The company is amazing. They send me like a delivery, like a pickup the day next, and 3 days later I got like a new one back. And then it started to click for me. It took it a while to kind of get softer because it says also, I don't know, on Gear Space and stuff like that, people recommend like keep it running for like a month or something. I don't know why, but it makes it like softer on the eyes and stuff like that. And then since then, it's, I mean, the box itself is on every master, but not the limiter itself, because you can bypass just the limiter but run through the box. And I don't know, the box just as itself make things like sound so much bigger, which is crazy. The transformer sounds really, really good. And the limiter I would use, I don't know, maybe 30% of the time. So, which brings to the point of a good mix and a bad mix. So for example, TZO sending me a mix at 18, I don't know, -4 loofs. So why would you put a limiter on top of that? But let's say a not so good mix, which I'm getting at, I don't know, -20 loofs, then I would probably use a limiter, if that makes sense. Anybody have a question about the limiters?
yeah, what would you use if you get something in -4?
Nothing. I'll just clip the Lavry.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you use limiters for like
Basically,
mix.
basically for people who didn't use the limiter or clipping on their mix bus because they don't know how to use it, or they're afraid, or I don't know, whatever. So you can also kind of figure it out on looking at the waveform. You can see on this waveform, for example, that they didn't limit or anything like that, because you don't see squarish stuff and stuff like that.
So one of the things with the LAAL is it's very good for melodic content. Because most of the time when the melody is above the transients, clipping stuff like Lavries don't really work, and it makes the sound a bit hard. And it's exactly in this case that the limiting of the LAAL does its magic, basically.
Yeah, I totally agree. For example, the Lavry doesn't like acoustic instrument. They clip super fast. Things like pianos, for example. So that's where exactly the LAAL come in place. and I think we're gonna try it now. So right now the limiter is disengaged, so we'll start like seeing what the limiter is doing exactly.
Tell me how that you feeling. Have we maxed out? Have we hit the ceiling? In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know, let me know. Should stay, I should go. Don't matter what you do. You can't love new if you can't love you.
So what do you think?
Amazing.
Yeah, is it working?
I don't hear any difference, to be honest. Like clean.
Yeah, I mean, clean is good. If you don't hear a difference, that's the best thing about this.
Yeah. Well, one of the things the LAAL also does very well is it could behave a bit like a link compressor. It has a link button linking the left to the right in the detection path, or unlink, and so when unlink, it also helps to go in the Lavry and keeps the space and the thing OWAT did in the sides.
Yeah.
If it makes any sense.
Yeah, and something we forgot to mention about the LAAL. Why is it so special? Because it's a look-ahead limiter, which is pretty rare in the analog world. It has a 0.2, right, Olivier?
Exactly.
Yeah, 0.2. Yeah. And another cool feature on this device is the transformer that you can put in. So basically, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, you can probably comment on this, Olivier, but to me, the transformer works really nice if somebody is asking for like something warm, like almost vintagey, lo-fi, tapey vibe. When are you using that?
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
I don't have much of this, so I don't use it much. But yeah, if I had, I will.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, it's a hit and miss, the transformer.
Sure. Yeah, thank you. Okay.
But,
So you're like limiting how much, because I saw the level quite jumping a bit.
yeah, but okay, so the meter is very, very precise. It's like basically every LED is like 0.2. So even if you see a lot of light, it doesn't mean that it's compressing that much. But from what I've seen, I can have a look.
To the fruit without peeling. Let me know, let me know. Should stay, I should go.
So on average, it's like around 2.2, I would say.
Oh, okay. So still not much. Okay.
Yeah, and the occasion, like I guess when the snare hits and stuff like that, it goes around 3.2.
How much do you usually clip the Lavry?
I mean, there's no numbers. It's basically until it doesn't sound good.
Yeah, I mean, can you get like a good amount of peaks chopped off, or like is it kind of like just material dependent?
First off, it's material dependent.
Yeah.
And second, if it's a really good mix, that was the gain staging was perfect and it was clipped nicely, and you know, like what do you get from like the really good mixers? Then I would say I can push like 13 dB inside the Lavry.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it sounds amazing. It sounds really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think you can go that far with it. That's really cool.
Yeah. It doesn't really work on acoustic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just clip too fast, I guess. They're too dynamic.
But like hip hop, dance music, I'm sure it's great on.
Amazing. amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, electronic music depending on the material. Yeah, on R&B it still works. I mean, it's pretty similar to hip hop in information.
So I guess if you were to get one first, you'd get the analog to digital before the
Yeah.
digital to analog.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Cool.
mean,
Good to know.
it also has more functions. You know, it has you can add soft saturation and MX that soften the transients. I mean, I rarely use these nowadays, but I mean, it's nice to have.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Is this Lavry the Mark III or the Mark II?
it's the Savitr. It's after these basically. It's
okay.
It's the last one, and that because they had 1, 2, MX I think, and then 3, and then the Savitr. So the Savitr is the last one.
And
Right.
it's kind of different than the Gold MK2 and MK3, so completely different beasts.
Yeah.
Ideally, you need both.
Yeah, a lot of people
Right.
keep the MK3 and have the Savitr as well. I mean, I get what I want, what I need from the Savitr. It's enough for me. But yeah, I would definitely get the AD before a DA.
Cool.
Yeah, and DA, I mean, I don't know. I really like the quintessence, like the Lavry. Also, I don't know. I think it kind of works well with the Savitr, like in combo. But there's different options there, and I know people that do different tests and compare. But I don't know. I kind of settled on these two. You know, the golden double.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I got. Oh,
sorry.
sorry.
Yeah. Could we, for example, have a listen with the on the LAAL disabling the transient recycling and the left-right thing, just to get the feeling of the of the thing? Yes, thanks.
So yeah, I'm disengaging the link, and so yeah, the reason this thing works like so nicely, it has this thing called what is it called? Dynamic transient. Yeah, dynamic transient.
Recycling, I think.
Recycling, yeah. So I think the idea behind this is as much as you compress the gain reduction, it recovers the high frequencies, right? Like the transients, something like that.
Yeah, I never really get what it does, but when it works, it works.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll use it kind of like a normal limiter, I would say. So I'll disengage that and we can listen how it sounds.
Yeah, tell me how that you feeling. Have we maxed out? Have we hit the ceiling? In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know. Should I stay or should I go? Don't matter what you do. You can't love new if you can't love you.
Yeah, I mean, it still sounds nice without them. But I mean, the link I liked more on this. I know it felt more kind of good together. I didn't feel like I lose the width and the transient thing. I don't know. It's like, yeah, it didn't do too much.
Yeah, just a question. Are you linked or unlinked on the SolMU?
Now I'm on 4, which means like unlinked, but like mildly unlinked.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, last thing we can listen to is the transformer on this. Yeah. Somebody had a question? No? Oh, okay.
No question. Well, does it help to if I want to
I can't hear anything. You're lost.
like do you can you
Hello?
hear me?
Yeah, now.
Okay, does it help if I is it a good thing to export the mix and master it on another project?
What do you mean?
Like if I have the mix on my computer, like the mix and the production and everything, so instead of doing it on the master bus, like export and do a master on the WAV file.
I mean, it's really up to you. It doesn't really matter.
Like it doesn't change the sound in any way.
No, I mean, it shouldn't. But some people like to start a new session because it just, you come, I don't know, with a clear mind, or I don't know. But it's really up to you. I mean, I know a lot of people that just do the whole processing on the mix bus and they're done.
Yeah, and also like I know that you always told me that you know that I mix into a master chain, and you always tell me leave the master chain on when you send the mix to me.
Yeah.
So how do you have the headroom?
I don't know. It's like analog gear. It's like plus I'm lowering it to -18, so I'm just keeping.
Yeah, but you get it like compressed, like a galgal shawarma.
Yeah, but I didn't compress that much. I don't know. If I got something that you squashed on the mix bus, I wouldn't use the limiter. There's no point.
Yeah.
And the other two compressors are doing more like groove work rather than compressing something to death. So I'm not really squashing you even more.
So it doesn't really matter in like what volume am I putting it, like am I exporting my project?
I mean, look at this. I'll show you. Let me show you a master that I get. I mean, sorry, it's not that one. But anyway, I get stuff super loud. It's like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Tizio sent stuff like, I don't know, like -7 average. Eating -4. So you can imagine how does it look, let's see.
-7 LUFS.
Yeah, like average.
Oh,
Like also I've heard like if you export your mixes to quiet, you can lose information.
I mean, I don't recommend mixing like on low level because you don't really get the full picture, I mean, you got so much headroom in the box. Use it like as much as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that way, because what happens is when you mix like super low, you don't understand what the bound's gonna be when we're gonna push it and like at 10 dB now, and then everything's collapsing. So try and work as close as possible to finish level from the beginning, and I mean nothing will be a surprise after we go back from the master,
Yeah.
Okay, so last thing we're gonna listen to is the transformer on the LAAL, because I remember the guy asked for like a warm vintagey tapey vibe, so we can hear what that's doing on this.
Yeah, tell me how that you feeling. Have we maxed out, have we hit the ceiling? In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know. Should stay, should go. Don't matter what you do, you can't love new if you can't love you.
Okay, so it's really cool on this. Yeah, the thing with the transformer is like it's either it's working and it's really cool, or it doesn't work at all. But on this, it's like I like it. It's like a kind of give it like a vintagey vibe to it, which matches the genre. Any thoughts before we wrap it up with pushing into the Lavry and see what happens?
I just want one quick question. If you have like a very dynamic song, even if it's very dynamic, like low lobs, are you hitting your Unfairchild and the other compressor like equally, like 0.5, or are you pushing more, depending on that?
I mean, I will always go -18, and then I'll adjust the threshold according to how much I want to compress it, if I need to or not. You know, sometimes it's cool to preserve the dynamics that I got in the mix, so I wouldn't try and compress it more. So it really depends on what I want to do with it. But usually, I don't compress more than 1 dB on a device.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's pushing to the Lavry time.
Can you shortly explain what it means?
I didn't get what you said. Hello?
Like the
You don't have reception.
I think he just pushed to the Lavry.
Yeah. Maybe we need to push him into the Lavry. No? Okay. Okay, so right now I'm pushing 8 dB into the Lavry. And because we're limiting right now, then, well, I gain more headroom to push into the Lavry. So we'll see what happens if it works or not. Let's see.
Yeah, tell me how that you feeling. How we maxed out, how we hit the ceiling. In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know. Shoulda stay, I shoulda go. Don't matter what you do, you can't love new if you can't love you. To find the love inside of you, it's waiting. It's waiting. You got to find the love inside of you. It's waiting. It's waiting.
Okay, so I pushed 12 dB into the Lavry, and it still sounds cool to me. And now it's a good time to compare it to the reference. So let's do that.
That's why you got to find the love inside of you. It's waiting. It's waiting. You got to find the love inside of you. It's waiting. It's waiting. Yeah, tell me how that you feeling. How we maxed out, how we hit the ceiling. In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know. Shoulda stay, I shoulda go. Don't matter what you do, you can't love new if you can't love you. You got to find the love inside of you. It's waiting. It's waiting.
So what do you think?
Is it my impression? I don't know if it's my listening position, but isn't this mix a bit like harsh? A bit harsh, like in those high frequencies?
The mix it, the reference, or you mean the where we stand in
No,
right
overall the mix, overall this song.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just me.
No, it's not just you. It came in harsh. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you, in this case, because in my case, if I would listen to this, I would probably, my ears would probably say, let's lower it, make it a bit smoother, or something.
So that's the next step.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because in the beginning, somebody asked me about de-essing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I said I'm gonna reveal my secret weapon.
Okay.
So
When you
Is it
when you
the
push
TDR
when you,
H filter limiter?
sorry, what about that?
Is it the TDR I filter limiter?
No, it's none of the known stuff. And
Oh, okay, okay,
when
I
you when you pu-
recently found it.
when
okay.
you
This
push
is
into the Lavry, do you do it like on the Lavry itself, or is there something else that you're using to push into it?
Okay, so I pushed from the limiter because the limiter is the
Okay,
last one, so I pushed the gain, the output gain.
like the output gain. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And what's cool on
Thank you.
the output gain on the LAAL is that it also I have like 2 dB steps, but
Mm-hmm.
underneath it I have like 0.2 steps, so I can
Oh, cool.
really tailor how much I want to do the lap, which is cool.
Well, I guess what were you doing prior to getting the LAAL?
Using the SolMU by Knif,
Okay,
but that's
so you're going.
only that's like FADB steps.
Okay, so you're doing the output gain on the SolMU.
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
cool.
Yeah. So how do I smooth stuff after I'm done? So please don't tell anyone about this plugin. It's my recent secret weapon, and so this is Tone Booster's Sibilance. It cost like 20 euros, and it's the cleanest de-esser I've ever heard. Before this, I used to use the Wise, and I don't know, in recent times, it kind of felt like it's darkening stuff for me and losing information. So what I did, I asked the ChatGPT, hey, ChatGPT, I'm looking for a new de-esser, but I want something low key. And he spit out like different stuff that I already knew about, and then he spit out that. So I was like, okay, worst try. It's like 20 euros. I instantly bought it, and that's it. It's a winner. And it's super simple, as you can see, and I'll show it to you visually like soon, like in a second. But basically, I just created myself like a preset, and I will move the release if I need to, and I use it on the full spectrum. I mean, full spectrum on this is different. Full spectrum on this is from 3K to 19K. And then the only thing I use is the threshold. And I'll show you how I use it. So.
Tell me how that you feeling. Have we maxed out? Have we hit the ceiling? In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know. Should stay, I should go.
And that's it, basically. So basically, it shows you like it has like a detection circuit, like I don't know, almost AI based or something like that. So it shows you visually like where he detected like harsh information and where is it working. But if you saw here, it just shaved like, I don't know, 0.7, which is almost nothing. Plus what I'm getting from this, I hear like somewhat like clarity in the mix because of the plugin, which is also a super cool thing. Yeah, I highly recommend this thing. It's insane.
Is it post conversion from the Lavry?
It's after analog.
Okay.
Yeah.
And want it to eventually create peaks above 0?
I will add something else after, even though I don't care about peaks, but
I mean not it's not true peaks, it's peaks I meant.
Yeah, but no.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I would use to smooth things up, and then to finish it all, I'll use the TDR limiter, but just the output section. In case I need true peak, and if if it doesn't sound bad that I won't use true peak, we can listen. And like I said, if I need extra gain after the Lavry, I'll just use this basically, just the drive on this. So right now, if we go numbers wise, I'm on average -10 loops, and I'm hitting 6.9 at maximum. So I don't know. I guess I have like a dB and a half to push. I don't know to go. If I want to go competitive, you know how is this? How it goes on Spotify World and stuff like that. So we can see how it sounds.
Tell me how that you feeling. Have we maxed out? Have we hit the ceiling? In the distance, you are healing. Can't get to the fruit without peeling. Let me know, let me know. Should stay, I should go. Don't matter what you do. You can't love new if you can't love you.
Yeah, and that's basically it.